All right, Matt. We are both officially in our 30s now, so it's safe to say we've been around for a lot of things. Pixar being one of them. Pixar's been, I would say, iconic for our generation.
Yeah, definitely.
You've seen, I would assume, a fair bit of them then.
I'd say most of them.
I would agree most of them. Maybe not all the sequels, but I've seen all of the concepts for the most part.
Yeah. There's probably one or two I haven't, but I haven't seen Inside Out 2, for example.
I have seen Inside Out too. Well, the editorial at Rotten Tomatoes decided they wanted to rank all 28 Pixar movies that existed at the time of this article. From best to worst. So, starting at number 28, Cars 2. I've never seen Cars 2.
I've seen it, but I've only seen it once. It's good. It's good. Like, it's definitely good.
I'll double down. Number 27 is Cars 3. I haven't seen Cars 3.
I've not seen Cars 3.
I did watch Cars 1. Cars 1 was good. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, Cars 1 is great. Cars 2, Cars 3, not seen it.
I see them as beating... What is it? It's the same. Beating a dead horse?
Flogging a dead horse, yes.
Yeah. I think it's overdone, but that's just me.
I think Pixar's going through a little bit of an issue at the moment where it's, instead of coming out with new stuff, it's doing some new stuff and some sequels, and there's some Pixar movies I don't think need sequels, which I'm sure we'll be able to talk about.
Elemental came out in 2023, and it's on my list. I need to watch it. I just haven't taken the time to do it. Elemental,
I loved that. I thought that deserves to be way higher. I know it didn't do very well when it released.
Really?
It didn't do very well. I don't know if it's considered a flop, but it didn't do well. But people like it. Everyone I say
it's got a 73%.
Yeah, I liked it. I just don't think it performed very well.
All right. Well, if we go up to number 25, I think this deserves the 25 spot, if not lower.
It deserves the 25. It's worse than Elemental.
It's Lightyear, the Buzz Lightyear Pixar spinoff. Yeah, I wasn't interested in it.
Yeah, it is light years worse than Toy Story. It is bad. It's got funny moments. I do like it, but it's one of the weaker ones for sure.
Is it?
Yeah. It's weak.
I definitely stayed away from it.
For me, if you're going to watch a spin-off Buzz Lightyear thing for the Toy Story things, watch the Buzz Lightyear Star Command mini movie and TV show, because that's way better.
I watched those.
Yeah.
All right, number 24.
Ooh,
Speaking of Cars, yep.
That's way too low. That's way too low.
I really think it is. I think it should be top 15.
Cars is top 10. Cars is top 10. Oh, for sure.
I don't think I would give it that high, but I definitely not 24.
No, not 24 at all. But I mean, most Pixar movies are good, so I mean, I get it. There's going to be nothing but good, realistically. But that 24 is low, man.
23, I think, is a little too high, to be honest. The Good Dinosaur.
Good Dinosaur's cute. I liked The Good Dinosaur. It's a cute story, but it's not exactly an original idea.
I say, isn't it just Pixar's version of The Croods?
Kind of, yeah. It's Ice Age. It's Ice Age.
Realistically, yeah.
It's just Ice Age, but with the dinosaurs instead of like the mammoth and stuff.
Ice Age was DreamWorks, wasn't it?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, I know what our next list is because I love DreamWorks films.
I think Ice Age is DreamWorks, yeah, but like it's just. Ice Age is like a group of animals trying to get a kid back to his people. It's the same thing. It's the same thing, but okay.
All right, number 22. Okay. I think this one should be ranked a lot higher.
I think it should be near the bottom.
Really?
I don't like Brave.
My wife hates it. I think it's hilarious. I love everything about it.
I don't like it at all. I think Pixar should stay away from princess movies. I think the whole point is that Disney is the princess movies and Pixar is not princess movies.
I can give you that. Yeah. I can definitely give you that, but I really enjoyed the movie.
I think the problem that I have with it is that I went in probably not knowing that it was Pixar. I thought it was just a Disney princess movie.
Okay.
And so I was rating it compared to the other Disney princess movies, which you're gonna do. It's a Disney Pixar movie.
Mm-hmm.
And I think in terms of the princess movies that we got around the same time, it's pretty weak. Like if you think about the things that were around about that time, I think we had like Tangled and Frozen.
Tangled.
And kind of
So, if I remember correctly, Frozen was 2014, but around the same time, Tangled was. So this is right in the middle between Tangled and Frozen, and yeah, they did light years better. They are way better.
Tangled and Frozen are far superior to Brave, and if you're going to release a princess movie, you need to do it at a time where your parent company are not releasing absolute hits. You know.
So I would still say this should be top 15, maybe number 15 in my opinion.
I'm fine with it at 22 personally, but I get it.
Okay,
I get it.
Let's see where we got 21. Oh no, this one has to be higher too. I loved Monsters University.
Monsters University is a great one. I feel like though, and it is a great movie. It's one that didn't need to happen. It's one of those
absolutely did not need to happen.
It didn't need to exist, and also you cannot argue with me, or I'd be very surprised if you argue with me, that if this had come out in the 90s or early 2000s, it wouldn't have been a straight-to-DVD movie.
Yeah, no, it totally would have been.
It would have gotten the Aladdin King of Thieves or Prince of Thieves or whatever it is. It would have gotten the same treatment straight to VHS.
The second Lion King, not Jungle Book, Tarzan, all of them, yeah.
Straight to DVD. Like it's good, but it's not like going to the cinema, going to the movie theater to see it, and it's not.
Now, I will argue, I think it's better than the original. I think this is one of those where they did better at the sequel. They improved on in the sequel. Or prequel in this one.
I hard disagree.
Really?
Monsters Inc.'s iconic.
Oh, it is. No, 100%. But I think that's more of a nostalgia thing, because that's one of the early Pixar's.
Maybe. The
storyline was a little better in the original Monsters Inc., but it might just be because this is so. It was 2013, man. I thought it was a lot older.
Let me put it this way: if you watched Monsters University without ever watching Monsters Inc., would you have the faintest clue what's going on?
No. But to be fair, I mean, if you watch Monsters Inc. for the first bit, you don't. It starts off. I don't know. I think they start off kind of the same because Monsters Inc. starts off showing like they're scarers. Monsters University, it's him as a kid, like, wow, I want to be that when I grow up, and then he grows up, and this is the grow up story.
Maybe. For me, I think it's a lot weaker than Monsters Inc.
Okay,
it's a good movie, but it's not fantastic. It's better than the next one.
Oh no, what's the next? No, that's 28.
The next one is Onward.
No, should totally be bottom of the list.
Which would be fine. It's a nice story until you realise that you can't stop hearing Tom Holland and Chris Pratt's voices. That's all I can hear. Every time I watch that movie, which granted is only a couple of times, all I can hear is them. That's all I can hear.
I'm going to make a hot take. I don't like Chris Pratt. I don't really like it when he's in stuff.
I'm not a big fan of him in doing like voiceover work.
Mm-hmm. Who's the girl that played... was it Captain Marvel?
Brie Larson.
I can't remember. Brie Larson. Her and Chris Pratt are just two sides of the same coin. I think they're both very stiff actors and actresses.
Ooh. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I mean, Brie Larson for starters would hate the fact that you called her a girl. But like, yeah, I feel like Brie Larson has received a lot of hate for being similar in, I suppose, to Chris Pratt. Chris Pratt is very much a hit or miss sort of actor, I think.
Wait, does Brie Larson not go by that?
She does. She's Brie Larson. There was a lot of stuff about Brie Larson being like an ultra feminist and stuff, and that's why.
Okay.
That's why people were hating the Captain Marvel sort of thing that she was doing.
No, I just think she's a stiff actress.
Brie Larson is not one of my favorite actresses. Chris Pratt is also not one of my favorite actors. He's great in Parks and Rec. But the problem is that he's never really done anything different to Parks and Rec in that his character style. I
liked him in the Jurassic series. I didn't like him as Star-Lord.
I feel like he's just different variations of Chris Pratt. You know?
Yeah.
He was fine in Mario. But again, I could tell it was him.
I do need to watch that.
It's good, but again, I could tell it was him. I don't like Chris Pratt's voice acting work. Tom Holland is okay. But yeah, the whole time I was watching Onward, It's an okay story. It's a nice story about brothers bonding over an adventure, a quest, or whatever. But all I could hear was Tom Holland and Chris Pratt. That's all I could hear.
Okay, so it's Brother Bear, but now they're
elves. Kinda, because Brother Bear is the whole thing. He's trying to turn back into a human, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Onward is they're trying to bring their dad back, who's been magically half brought back and sort of thing. It's kind of similar, actually.
So Brother Bear, Full Metal Alchemist, got it.
yeah, kinda, yeah.
All right, number 19, I think should go right back to the bottom as well. I DNF'd it. I watched half of it and said, no, this is boring.
I like Luca. I'm fine with that being 19. I like Luca. I think it's forgettable.
That's why I didn't like it. The animation was good. It has a good premise. I feel like the story was just bland and boring. Maybe I didn't watch enough of it, but
you watched enough. They could have done better. They really could. It's an odd one for sure. It's also, again, not that original. The thing about old school Pixar was how original they were with their stories. Modern Pixar's not that original. Luca, we've seen similar kind of stories. Like Onward, we've seen similar kind of stories. Like even like Lightyear, it's just them having a movie version of the TV show, and the TV show's better.
Yeah. Number 18.
Way higher. Yeah. Way higher.
I don't know if I'd argue top 5, but I would easily argue top 10.
Bugs Life is amazing.
It is. Isn't it one of the first ones?
Yeah.
Toy Story, I think, was the first.
The fact, one of my favorite movie facts about the production of movies is that one of the guys who was working at Pixar got fired and was so bitter about it that he went over to a rival company and made the movie Ants before they could release Bugs Life, because he knew that Bugs Life was the next thing they were working on. So he made Ants, which is arguably also amazing.
So I don't like the Ants movie. I don't know if it's something about the animations, but I'm not that fond of it.
Yeah.
But that's hilarious.
He went over to them, made Ants, because they knew that Pixar was making a bug movie.
But
I love
funny.
Bugs Life. I'm a beautiful butterfly.
Let's see. Oh, Inside Out 2 is on this list. Okay,
Inside Out 2.
So this is a really relevant list.
Is that the most recent one?
Inside Out 2 was last fall.
It's the most recent one, right?
There might be one or two newer.
There might be one more. I've not seen it. I've heard it's great. I've been waiting for it to come out on Disney Plus. It's recently come out on Disney Plus, so I'm going to be watching it.
Personally, I would say the first one is a little bit better, but I love the points that this one touches on. Without spoiling anything, I think it's phenomenal.
Okay. 16 is criminally low.
Yeah, no.
That is low.
I would argue Incredibles is really iconic. Incredibles 2, 10 times better.
For me,
I don't like some of the storylines.
Incredibles is either my number 2 or my number 1. Incredibles is either number 2 or number 1 for me.
As a series or the movie?
The movie. The first Incredibles is either number 2 or number 1 for me. Incredibles 2 is probably top 10.
So I enjoyed Incredibles 2 a lot more. That's not saying that Incredibles is bad by any means, but I enjoyed the emphasis on Jack, especially when they're at the house and Bob is trying to deal with him. Hilarious. Yeah. But no, Incredibles 1, I can quote that so well. Frozo, where's my super suit?
Well, I'm glad to see we haven't seen Incredibles yet. But number 15, Finding Dory. I don't like it. Finding Nemo is one of my comfort movies. Finding Nemo, the first one, is one of my comfort movies. I will watch Finding Nemo. If I'm feeling down or something like that, it's one of the movies I will watch. Finding Dory, it's another case of, did we need it?
So the reason why I like Finding Dory as much as I do is because of the improvement on their animation skills. It's one reason I love Toy Story 3 and 4 so much, is because they've done so much to it. I'm okay with it being 15. Me personally, I would love to see Finding Nemo, maybe like number 9 or 8.
I'm going to be much higher than that for Finding Nemo. But for me, touching on that Toy Story thing, I am annoyed that we've not seen Toy Story 4 yet. And I will explain why when we get to Toy Story 4. Because I am very much... I've also seen number 14 and I'm livid.
Okay, so scroll up No! Now, see... Finding Nemo may be one of your comfort movies. WALL-E is one of mine.
WALL-E is
adore this movie.
WALL-E is amazing. It's amazing.
So, I'm a tech nerd. I have wanted to build an animatronic WALL-E for so long.
Yeah.
I never
WALL-E's incredible. WALL-E's incredible. WALL-E, for me, and I genuinely mean this, as someone who loves movies, I make a point of like, I have a massive Blu-ray collection. I collect movies religiously. WALL-E is one of the best post-apocalypse movies ever.
Oh, 100%.
It is one of the best post-apocalypse movies ever. It's up there with, like, Mad Max and that kind of thing. Like, it is iconic. It is so good. The music, the WALL-E and Eva dancing in space, all that kind of thing, is a gorgeous movie. 14 is way too low. Way too low.
I would give this one probably top 5, if not top 3 for me.
WALL-E, unless there's things I've forgotten, WALL-E is top 5 for me.
Yeah, it's such a good movie. Number 13, I would argue could go lower.
It's too
yeah.
Turning Red
I would give it
high.
in the 20s.
Turning Red is fun. I've heard a lot of people say that it really speaks to them, and I love that, you know, it can appeal to different people and everything who maybe haven't had their thing with Pixar, because Pixar is great at like going like, we're going to talk about this group of people now, we're going to talk about this group of people now, we're going to talk about this group of people, making it an enjoyable movie that even if you're not the target of the story, you're still enjoying it. Whereas, you know, it's quite rare to see Pixar be called out as being like woke or anything like that. Turning Red is very fun to watch. I think if you're the target of that, you probably enjoy it more. But it's not as good as classic Pixar. No. I don't see why it's at 13.
I wouldn't rank it dead last by any means, but I think it should be right around 20s.
Oh no, it's better than like Lightyear and stuff like that. But,
no, yeah, 100%.
But 13.
It wasn't my favorite. 12, Soul. I haven't seen Soul. I've heard it's good.
I love it. Soul is so good, man.
Is it?
It's so good. It reminded me of a book that I read that's completely unrelated, but it's a similar-ish story to a book that I've read. But basically, yeah, it's beautiful. It's a beautiful film. It's one of those Pixar. There's like a short list of Pixar movies that will make me cry. Soul is one of them.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
I'll have to watch it. I'll have to sit down and watch it for sure. I'll add it to the Captain America list.
Yeah.
Okay, Monsters, Inc., number 11.
I'm fine with that.
I'm pretty fine with where that's ranked.
I'm fine with that. Monsters, Inc. is a great film, but it's not top 10 Pixar.
Let's see. No, I said Finding Nemo, Finding Dory should be stacked like this. Okay, so, I mean, I'm still okay with it being number 11. Maybe number 10 in my list. But
number 10. Number 10. I agree.
No, I think it needs to be a lot higher on this list.
Higher? You like Ratatouille that much?
I love Ratatouille. It cracks me up. I wouldn't say top 5. I would say maybe like a 6 or a 7.
Ratatouille for me is one of the funniest Pixar movies. But like it one of the best? I don't think so. But I've not seen Toy Story 4 yet, and I very much think Ratatouille is better than Toy Story 4.
I would argue Toy Story. I don't know if I put 3 above 4, but at the same time, I might.
Shut your mouth!
Toy Story 3 is phenomenal, especially.
You don't know if you'd put Toy Story 3 above Toy Story 4.
Toy Story 4 is so good.
It's so unnecessary, man. It
is 100%. Toy Story 5 is going to be unnecessary, but I have full hopes that it's going to be phenomenal. But
well, we've only got 9 left, so Toy Story 1, 2, 3, and 4 are apparently going to be in the top 9.
Well, number 9 is your movie, The Incredibles.
That's easily top 3 for me. Like I debated putting it 2 or 1, but that's top 3.
For me, it needs to be in the top 5. It is a really good movie, or really close, maybe 6.
The Incredibles is the best superhero movie.
Oh, 100%.
It's the best Marvel and DC can't hold a candle to The Incredibles.
No. They did it so well. Everything about it is hilarious.
The fact that they released this at a time where superheroes were starting to surge again, and they still are the best. Like, it's ridiculous. How a company who don't have any pedigree with superheroes can make a better superhero movie than Marvel and DC. It's beyond me, but it's the perfect superhero movie.
I agree. They did a phenomenal job on it.
Yeah.
Number 8, Coco.
Remember that list I said of things
that
made me cry?
I think I'm okay with Coco being right there. Definitely a sad story. The animations were really good. I still remember where I was when I watched this for the first time. I enjoyed it.
I adore Coco. I think it should be number 10. I think it needs to be a little lower. It doesn't deserve to be above The Incredibles or maybe Ratatouille.
I would argue that, yeah.
Yeah, but
I could give it number 10.
Movie. It's a beautiful movie.
Speaking of,
there it is. Toy Story 4. That should
number
be in
7.
That should be in the 20s. It should be in the 20s, and I'm going to give you a very clear reason as to why. We did not need anything past Toy Story 3. Toy Story 4 ruins a perfect ending to a trilogy.
Yeah, I will give you that.
It ruins it.
It's unnecessary. That doesn't mean it's not phenomenal.
We don't need it. It ruins the ending of the trilogy by continuing on. The whole point of the end of the trilogy is all the toys... Spoiler. All the toys move on to now be Bonnie's. What does Woody do in 4? What does Woody do in 4? Spoiler, by the way.
No, actually, he doesn't leave Bonnie.
Yes, he does.
No, they're in the RV and he gets kicked out.
That's the beginning.
Yeah. I mean, at the end.
At the end, he leaves. The whole point of 3 was accepting that Andy's grown up and they need to move on.
I can't remember the ending of 4. Do they? They're not trying to find Andy again.
No, but the whole point of the end of 3 is that they've accepted that Andy's grown up and they need to move on, and they're going to move on together.
Yeah.
And, like, the whole salon partner, which makes me bawl my eyes out, like, more than anything. And then, literally, Toy Story 4, Woody goes, well, I'm done with this kid stuff, and he leaves. Like...
Okay, but
it's ridiculous. It does not. It ruins it.
We're gonna go back. The so long partner.
I'm super, unbelievably pissed off that there's going to be a Toy Story 5.
I want to see where it goes. It's going to be good.
I don't, because I've already heard the synopsis. Woody comes back. What was the point of 4 then? What was the point of 4? I don't like Toy Story 4. Get out of my sight.
Let's go to number 6. Toy Story 3. No. Number 6 is Up.
Up's not a very good movie.
I would give Up in the teens.
Up needs to be in the teens. I know I've just annoyed a lot of people with Toy Story 4, and I've now really annoyed them.
I enjoy Up.
The first 20 minutes of Up is great. Then it gets bored. Then it's forgettable.
Yeah.
Tell me the name of the bad guy.
I'm more worried about his dogs.
Name any of the dogs. Name the dog first.
Doug.
Yeah, okay. Now name any of the others.
Dog 2 and Dog 3.
Right.
Yeah, no, I would definitely agree that it is a forgettable back half of the movie. I did enjoy the movie. There's some funny parts that I still quote a lot, but
the beginning is gut-wrenching. The beginning is gut-wrenching.
Oh, 100%, especially for people now in our age group. Like, dude, that's heartbreaking.
Yeah, stuff that Em and I went through for like, because we obviously have a child and stuff, like all the stuff that we like, seeing that beginning thing. I've not dared to watch Up since having a kid because of the beginning bit where they can't have kids. Like, I don't dare watch it. But everything post the balloons coming out and him floating away,
forgettable. Mm-hmm. I would argue this needs a 1 in front of it. I could see it at 16, maybe 17, 18, really.
I can see 16. That number 5 is wrong. It should be number 1 or number 2.
Okay, now, what I was going to say, the so long partner, no, that's not the saddest moment. I don't care what you say. The saddest moment's when they're staring down that incinerator. I don't even care about spoilers. That's the saddest moment. Dude, I'm in that theater bawling my guts out.
When this movie came out, I was 20. I was 20 years old. I went to the cinema with my best friend from high school. We both came back home from university to go watch this in the movie theater together. We're there. Half of the audience are children. The other half are adults with no children. There's a group of children who are getting introduced to Toy Story for the first time. God save them with that ending. And then the other half are seeing the end of their childhood, right? We cried. Both of us cried the manliest tears you'll ever see, non-stop, from the moment that furnace began. The moment they hit that furnace until the credits rolled, not a dry eye in sight. Like, we were weeping. Like, we were weeping. Like, to the point where I looked over at him, he looked over at me, we're wet in the face. It's pitch black, we can still see we're wet in the face. He looks at me, he goes, "You good, bro?" I'm like, "I'm good, bro." "You good, bro?" He's like, "I'm good, bro." It is the best ending to a trilogy ever. Period.
No, 100%.
It's the best ending. And
no, I agree with you. Toy Story 4 wasn't needed, but Toy Story 4 was still phenomenal.
Don't care. Didn't need it. I'm bitter about them doing it. I'm exceptionally bitter about the fifth one's coming out. I don't care. Just something else I'm really angry about. I get why. If you go to any toy store and buy the Toy Story toys, they don't say Andy underneath, they say Bonnie now.
No, I'm bitter about that. No.
If you go to Disneyland, Disney World, whatever, if you go into the shop and you get like Buzz or Woody or whatever, they say Bonnie underneath, not Andy.
No, I'm bitter about that one. I don't care. Number 4, Inside Out.
It's not a 4, but it's good. I'd say it's an 8 or 9.
Yeah, top 10 for sure. They really touch something that you don't see. But maybe not a top 5.
Well, you don't see its feelings. But yeah, it was really good. Inside Out is a great coming of age story. I think it's a great way of showing someone who's entering their teens. Like it's a great way of showing it, the confusion, the not being able to express yourself emotionally, all that kind of thing. Like it's a great showing of that. I feel like if you've got a kid who's tweens, like 10, 11, 12, show them Inside Out if they've not seen it.
I mean, based off that, sense. You need to sit down and go watch Inside Out too. They touch on a lot of things.
Is it further? It's further.
Yeah.
I thought it would be.
Number 3, this will please you. Finding Nemo.
Exactly where it belongs. Exactly where it belongs. Finding Nemo is the 3rd best Pixar movie, followed by Incredibles and Toy Story 3. I've decided. 2-1.
I don't know that I would rank it lower, but I don't necessarily... 3 or 4 for sure. 3 or 4 for sure.
It's 3 for me. It's 3.
Okay.
Number 2 is Toy Story, which means I know what number 1 is. Number 2 is Toy Story. I'm gonna do a real hot take here, seeing as how much I just absolutely crowed on about how incredible Toy Story 3 is. Toy Story 1 is one of the weakest Pixar movies.
Oh no, 100%. But it's also the first.
It's the first, yeah.
I think what makes it so weak is the fact that it is the first. It's dated. That animation is rough.
The story behind it is incredible. I think, I might be wrong, but I think it's the first fully computer-generated movie. I think it's the first.
Could be. I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Fully computer-generated animated movie. Like feature-length movie, at least. Mm-hmm. The story is incredible behind how they made it, and also the story is great. But in terms of the others, no. Toy Story 1 is the weakest of the trilogy.
Yeah, no, 100%.
For sure.
Which is why number 1 is Toy Story 2, which I would argue is probably one of the best sequels. Now,
it's one of the best sequels, yeah.
I say sequels as in a number 1 to number 2. Toy Story 3 is definitely the strongest of the 3 of them.
Yeah, Toy Story 3 is the best one. It's one of the best heist movies as well. Because Toy Story 3 is a heist movie, essentially, right? But Toy Story 2 is phenomenal. Toy Story 2 is top 10, for sure. When She Loved Me, but number 1, nah. Nah.
I think I would probably put it somewhere between 5 and 10. Toy Story 1 would probably be like number 10, maybe.
Yeah.
But Toy Story 2...
Yeah. If Toy Story 1 cracked the top 10, it would just crack it. It'd be number 10.
Yeah. And that's just because it's the OG. It's the one that started it all. Toy Story 2
there's no
wouldn't
Pixar
break top
without
5.
Toy Story. There's no Pixar without Toy Story. Yeah. I think because this is audience score based, right?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah, I mean it's Rotten Tomatoes, ranked by.
Toy Story 2, I'd argue, is pretty much a perfect movie. I would agree with that. It is pretty much a perfect movie, but I don't think it's the best Pixar movie. Toy Story 1 getting a perfect 100% there. That I can see it's got 100%.
Yeah. No, I wouldn't agree with that. I mean the moment that I remember the most from Toy Story 1 is definitely Sid's room. That gave everybody nightmares.
Oh, Sid's a phenomenal villain. Sid's a phenomenal villain. Like, we could do a top 10 animated villains list and he'd make it. Like,
oh, yeah.
He'd make it. He'd make the 10. Oh my god, the taking apart the toys. The taking apart the toys is something that I know of kids who did that. Like, Em has told me she would take the heads off of Barbies, right? But, like, when you know they're sentient, that's dark. That's dark when you know that they're sentient. But yeah, like, I get it. I get Toy Story 1 and 2 being number 2, number 1. But...
Well, I tell you what we should do is we should definitely go through, grab all of these that they've thrown on there, and put where we would put them real quick.
We can do that, or we could do a top 10. We could just do a top 10.
Okay, yeah, I'd argue a top 10 would be pretty
I think
doable.
top 10 would be fine. Yeah.
Well, with that, what do you guys think? Do you agree with the list? Do you agree with the tomato meter? Do you agree with our hot takes? I still think Toy Story 4, while not needed, was phenomenal, and I'm going to die on that hill. But
I'm going to be the one to kill you.
Well, anyway, like I said, what do you guys think? Let us know down below in the comment section. If you haven't already, join the Discord, hit the subscribe button, hang around, see more lists. Let us know if there's any top 10s, top lists that you guys want to see. And until next time, bye.